hạnh giới thiệu tiệm vàng Mỹ Tín, nơi chuyên cung cấp vàng trang sức với mẫu mã đa dạng. Mỹ Tín đã hiện diện tại Cabramatta hơn 40 năm và đã trải qua 3 thế hệ, hiện đang là địa chỉ đáng tin cậy nhất cho nhu cầu mua sắm vàng và kim cương các loại. Khách hàng khi mua sắm tại Mỹ Tín không những được bảo đảm về chất lượng và giá cả, mà còn được bảo đảm quyền lợi khi muốn bán vàng. Đặc biệt với vàng 4 số 9, Mỹ Tín sẽ cung cấp vàng theo tiêu chuẩn ABC của Úc. Mọi chi tiết xin vui lòng liên lạc tiệm vàng Mỹ Tín qua số 02 8724 3331 hoặc đến số 3/91 John Street, Cabramatta, New South Wales 2166.
Có một loại nước mắm thuần khiết sinh ra để làm nên sự khác biệt, gói trọn tinh hoa của biển cả, đánh thức hương vị đậm đà thượng hạng, đẳng cấp, sang trọng, là món quà tình thân ý nghĩa để luôn nhắc ta nhớ về cội nguồn. Nước mắm Hoàng gia, tinh hoa đất Việt.
Nước mắm Hoàng gia hiện nay đã có mặt tại tất cả các tiểu bang trên toàn quốc Úc Châu với 3 kích cỡ khác nhau, bao gồm 250ml, 500ml và 750ml. Tại Sydney, nước mắm Hoàng gia đang được phân phối bởi công ty Sydney Tissue và bán lẻ tại các siêu thị và nhà hàng. Mọi chi tiết xin liên lạc số phone 0478 807 907.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Sunday show of Viet TV Australia, and I'm Ken Fan.
I'm Anthony Nguyen.
So today we're talking about Vietnamese coffee. Remember last time, Anthony, when we walked along John Street in Canberra?
Yes.
We talked about, we saw a lot of people sitting, on the street.
Yes.
Drinking coffee.
Yes.
Right? So,
and here we are. Here we are. So today we want to show you guys the Vietnamese culture, aka coffee culture of Vietnam. And like you mentioned last week, Vietnam is one of the biggest exporters of coffee in the whole world, right? And there's a reason for that. It's because our people love it. And it's not so much of the actual drink itself, I believe anyway, but it's the whole sitting down, watching it drip, looking around, talking, doing a bit of yarn with your friends or the boys, It's that whole entire process that the Vietnamese really love. And it's just not really about the coffee itself, it's the whole experience.
Right. At any time, if you visit Cabramatta, right, you see the busiest place, right, are the coffee shops.
Yes, always.
Right. Vietnamese people got a habit or a culture, right, of sitting down at the coffee shops, right. Like Anthony said, not only to enjoy coffee, but that's a place for, I would say, for working, for chatting, for appointment, for gathering, and many others, social purposes. Right?
Yes, I mean, and even for you see, my parents, for example, they're more of the older generation. So they don't watch so much of the news. They're starting to watch our show now on Viet TV Australia with the whole current affairs stuff. But without this show, they really have no source for news. So for them, going to a coffee shop and sitting down, they get all the current affairs right there. Right. So for them, it's great. It's good for chatting, socializing, and gaining a current affair information.
Right. Where we are sitting, the shop name CΑ PHmôit means miss or remember coffee, right?
Yes.
It's always busy. We're here in the morning, and then see that at the background is very noisy. Right? A lot of people coming here for enjoying coffee, but rather than that, they come here for appointments, right? For working and for chatting, and it's like one of the very special thing of Vietnamese culture, right?
Yes. And recently, so in December, I flew to Vietnam, and I stayed in Ho Chi Minh City for a couple nights, and that's what it was. Literally, you can walk down one little strip like this, would have 4 or 5 different coffee stores
Yeah.
you know, all offering similar but different at the same time. You know,
Yeah,
the way they brew the coffee, the way you know, there's another place that does foaming coffee,
Yeah.
you know, dripping coffee.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a very you know, it's a daily lifestyle.
Yeah.
Would you say it's actually a lifestyle?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You know, like, unlike other people, I would say Vietnamese people love to, you know, love to gather at a coffee shop.
Yes.
I have Western friends.
Yes.
When I have an appointment with him, then we chose restaurants,
Yes.
and we chose pub, and then we chose like McDonald's.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, but I have many other Vietnamese friends.
Yes.
Whenever we want to meet at somewhere, we decide to go to
Coffee
the
store. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. 99% of the time is let's meet at this coffee store or that coffee store. You're 100% right with that.
So
Yeah.
back then, you know, what make the differences? What make the difference of choices? You know, between you and me and other people. Why Western people not, you know, seen at coffee?
Yeah.
Like Vietnamese people doing.
Like for what I believe anyway, growing up in Sydney, right? Like I could be wrong, but for a Westerner, like the Starbucks, the Gloria Jeans, the McDonald's coffee, it's more for them. It's a pick me up. Have you ever heard of that term? Pick me up. So they're feeling a little bit tired. So for them, a Westerner, a coffee is a pick me up. It's to get that energy up, so that they can go to work, or they've had, you know. So let's say, for example, a 9 to 5 person. By about 1 or 2 p.m., their energy starts to low.
Right,
So what they do, whoop, pick me up.
Pick me up.
So hence,
Like refresh.
correct. You hear a Westerner go, I need a little pick me up, and that's what they mean. They'll go get themselves a little coffee.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So for them, it's more of a quick energy hit, yeah, rather than a gathering or social setting.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's something very special about culture.
Yeah.
And when you come to, you know, Vietnamese town, anywhere in Sydney, like Cabramatta, of course, where we're sitting, or Bankstown or Marrickville, I can guarantee that the busiest places are the coffee shops.
yes,
Right.
yes.
You know, what's special about Vietnamese coffee that make people like addictive?
Yeah. I mean, I'll speak for myself, right? So for me, like, one, it tastes completely different for sure.
Right.
Yeah, right? There is a aroma that is different to, you know, like there's a certain smell.
Yep.
Compare, if you know what I'm talking about, right?
right.
Like compared to, let's say if I go to a Starbucks or Gloria Jeans, you know, do I dare say that each is, you know, it's better? I wouldn't say this is better than that. Like I wouldn't say that, but they all have their distinct differences that is great in both sides, you know? So, man, I love my coffee a lot. Yeah, I love my Gloria Jeans, but at the same time, I love my dripping Vietnamese coffee at the same time too. So like, it's a very hard choice, like a very hard choice, Ken. But yeah, for me, that dripping coffee is definitely a winner because you don't see it anywhere.
Yep.
It's very unique.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, you know, many people also say the Vietnamese coffees seem like stronger than Western coffee.
Yeah.
Or Italian coffee.
Yeah. I would believe so. I mean, look, it depends what Western coffee you get, right? Like there's some strong Western coffees too, right?
Like espresso.
Yeah, or like, I don't know if you ever tried an Arabic coffee.
Arabic, yeah.
Oh, that's strong too. But you see, because the dripping coffee that we Vietnamese have is literally pure black
Yep.
coffee.
Yep.
You know, that's dripping down and you're drinking straight. It's almost like a, what's that, black mocha or something, you know what I mean? Like they're one of them strong ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas the Western one is like, it's mixed with this, it's mixed with that. You know, there's lattes and that. It's very watered down, right? Whereas we don't have a very watered down version in Vietnam. It's more like you want a strong black or you want a strong with milk. It's either way, it's strong. Yeah.
And I discovered myself,
Yeah.
you know, and that also what make me love Vietnamese coffee shops. Because when you go to the coffee shop, you not only find coffee here, good coffee here, quality coffee here, but you got variety. You got sweet,
Yes.
right? You got sweet, you got juice,
Yes.
right? You got
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
smoothies,
Yes.
right? You got hot chocolate, ice chocolate,
Yes.
a variety there. And sometimes you got ice cream,
Yeah.
right? And they blend it together.
Yes.
They make it, I would say, yummy
Yeah.
things.
Oh man, even the fruit salads.
Yeah,
The fruits. Oh, I love the fruit salads. Where it's actual real fruits, where they dice it into little cubes, into like this. Oh man.
All right. a proof. We sit in here, but we're not drinking coffee. See, it's not coffee either. It's a juice.
Yes.
It's not coffee either. It's a
Yeah.
smoothies.
Because we've already had so many.
Juice and smoothie
Yeah.
here in a coffee shop.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, man. Let me try.
All right. And guys, some people even ask me, why there are many Vietnamese people sitting down there on the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Are they unemployed? Are they retirees? Are they, like housewives or house husbands who got nothing to do?
Yeah.
But you look at this. Is it true?
I mean, I believe there is some truth to it, but however, you want to hear another side of the story.
Yeah.
So I've been doing business in the Little Asia precinct for nearly 5 years, so since COVID. And when I first came to the area, I used to work in a very western suburb, 5 Dock, and then before that was Campbelltown, so it's very white. So the way that they do business over there is very different to the way a Vietnamese person does business, right? So anyways, I met this agent that was very established in the Little Asia precinct at the time, and I go, so how do you get your clients?
Yeah.
He goes, I actually get a lot of my clients at the coffee store.
Yeah.
And I found that very interesting. So he would go as a prospecting. So for my trade as a real estate agent, prospecting means that you have to go there and talk to people, get to know people. That's how you get the business,
Yeah.
right? So for him, he was very creative at going into coffee stores and getting business that way. So that's the
Okay.
difference right there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
Because at first I also ask myself why people sitting there that many.
Yeah.
I ask myself if they got nothing to do.
Yeah.
But really, like Anthony said, they come in here not only for enjoying or entertaining themselves,
Yeah.
but for talking about business,
100%.
for discussing about anything, for even talking about family problems.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Lots of things, So when you see people sitting here, crowded, it doesn't mean that they got nothing to do or
Yeah.
they're unemployed.
Yeah.
But really, many of them, they're doing business.
That's correct. Yeah. So Ken, I grew up more in the Western culture, right? So I've literally been here my whole life in Sydney. So I'm more inclined to the whole Gloria Jeans, Starbucks, and all that stuff. So is it okay if I take you to a Gloria Jeans or Starbucks here? Yeah.
And surprisingly, you know
Yeah.
what? At first, when I talked with the Gloria Jean owner, he's also one of my friends,
Yes.
and he told me when he opened the Gloria Jean, and many people, many Vietnamese friends of him, said, "Oh, you don't have to," and you know what? You're going to to be felt too
Yeah.
soon, because Vietnamese people like Vietnamese coffee,
Yes.
but he proved everyone wrong.
Yeah.
He proved is wrong because his Gloria Jean coffee
It's busy.
easy.
Yeah.
So young Vietnamese people also they love to try
Yes.
the variety.
Yes.
Then they do love Vietnamese coffee, but
Yeah.
at the same time they also can enjoy Gloria Jean
Yes.
and Starbucks and many others.
Yeah, and that's when I came to a conclusion in my mind that is Vietnamese just loves coffee overall,
Okay.
regardless of Vietnamese coffee or
Right.
Western coffee
Yeah.
or Arab coffee. We are just coffee lovers, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah,
I think they come here, like I said, it's not only for drinking, but for what's I gathering,
yes,
family bonding time,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Business time.
yeah.
And I would say many other social purposes. It's not only drinking coffee.
Yeah,
That's why it's busy.
I mean, it's just fun. Like even for me, if I wanna, instead of hanging out with your friends, go on out, you just want to hang at a coffee store. You got a lot of things to see, as you know. Cabramatta, Little Asia. There's just so much going on all the time. There's so many people. It's just a good view while you're having coffee and having a chat with your friends. I think it's just a great environment and a great vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I wonder, a coffee, like a coffee big like this, either small, medium, or large size.
Yeah.
That costs only about $5, right? And I don't know how coffee owners can survive, because just a cup like this
Yeah.
costs you $5.
Yeah.
That means every day, if they want to survive, for the big shop like this,
Yeah.
they have to sell like
Thousands. Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you believe?
Yeah. And as you know, we spoke a few episodes ago, the real estate rental commercial in Cabramatta, Little Asia is crazy high. So look, I mean, it's a question myself that I want to know, because a lot of people are actually opening coffee stores and they're doing well. And they're doing well. Yeah. I mean, especially this one at Café Nia, and these guys are doing really well. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because I know that Café Nia, they open many stores
That's right.
at many suburbs. Like we here in Cabramatta, we have one in Cali Heights, one in Bankstown,
Yeah.
and many other suburbs. That means the business model is running well,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
So they got enough customer.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine at any retail shop, 1,000 people, 1,000 customers
Yeah.
coming a day.
Yeah.
That's a big business.
That's a
right?
big business.
Big
That's right.
business.
And not only do you have one shop, you have a chain of that. I mean, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's something very special about the Vietnamese community and about Cabramatta or Cali Heights, or I would say that's something special about Little Asia. The one area that you can discover Asia right here in Sydney. And we love to see you there, back there in Cabramatta, in Cali Heights. But sooner we'll be calling Little Asia.
That's right. And Ken, also I want to add on to that, as you know, on the 26th Australia Day, January this year, Little Asia in Canley Vale
Wow.
is doing a big festival with fireworks.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
and we encourage families to bring their kids, family down. There's going to be a lot of activities, and 9 p.m. we have huge fireworks.
Wow.
So it's one of them things that Little Asia does. Yeah.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
see you there on the 26th January, right? The Australian National Day, right there in Canley Vale. See you